Let's record this shit.
Gage got high.
I didn't get high.
Watch the music
totally
video.
got high.
Totally would pass the test right now.
Gage
Fuck
totally
y'all.
got high and watched
I'm pissing
fucking
Aquafina.
Handlebars. Might as well
You
piss
might
on
wanna
the
Get that
Dasani.
salt content checked out, man.
Just pissing.
Aquafina is just as bad.
Just pissing.
No,
just
it's
pissing
not
in the
Dasani.
Dasani water bottle.
No.
It tastes better.
Welcome to
Exactly.
the official Butthole Podcast.
Dasani's gross
Bringing you
coke.
Movies, video games.
You should have
and
reposted
randomness
that
in
one.
between. Now bringing your hosts, Scott, the
I
Great
forgot the split
Brandino,
deal, too.
Gage's Rage,
And
We
Stalamar.
don't need this fucking shit up here.
Welcome, one and all, to the official Butthole Podcast episode.
Oh, come on.
232.
You sound like you're reading the outro from the first 3 episodes. A little bit more spice.
Welcome in, everybody, to the official Butthole Podcast. This is episode 232, and Brandon's kids are now all awake. We are coming to you live from Brandon's Butthole. It's none other than Gage's Rage,
Yes, sir.
Star Lamar,
So, girl.
the Great Brandino,
Sub girl with less enthusiasm.
and me, Shitpants McGee.
Well, accurate.
Japan Scotty.
So we took off last
Oh,
week.
shit, bitch, Scotty. I like that.
We had 2 weeks to watch this movie for the movie and review.
Vocal maintenance was needed.
Took some of us till last night to watch it, and
Oh.
some of us until this morning to watch it.
And some of us
Someone
probably
said-
didn't watch it.
This afternoon.
We're
What was the
being
movie
honest.
these past 2 weeks?
Guardian.
Of the galaxy.
Yep.
That is incorrect. It was Brandon's pick, and it was actually the movie Greater.
Greater. is
Not
correct.
on Hulu.
Nope.
Not on Amazon Prime.
You're going to pay for it at that rate.
Yes, I almost did.
I brought you a free movie on Netflix. You should have at least texted me before you're like, dude, I got to pay for this.
You almost said you didn't
specify?
actually do it.
No, I didn't. I checked all of them.
I
Netflix
think the
was the last
standard
one I
is
checked
free.
because Brandon told me about 4 days ago that it was on Hulu. Was not. It
Did I
was
say
pay
that?
pay to play on Hulu.
Yeah,
it was
but
there,
do
but
you remember
pay to
when we
play.
not
picked
free.
If you Google the
movie?
title of a movie and then where to stream,
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Decider has a website that tells you
Fuck Google.
everything you can do it
Duck,
on.
duck, go on that shit. Okay, so first off,
Bill
I just wanted to
Gates.
say, fuck you, Brandon. That was a real tearjerker, and I didn't like it.
So I didn't think so.
You didn't think it was a tearjerker?
I didn't
No.
either.
Are you kidding
You
me?
didn't watch it.
So I thought
It was, yeah, we all know
this leads me into
Scott
the beginning
doesn't
of the
have a
movie.
heart.
The
Anyway.
beginning of the movie was a tombstone.
You knew he was
You
dying.
knew he was dying, so it was expected. It wasn't like it came out of nowhere and you're like, "That's why I haven't heard of this guy before," or anything like that. So you knew it was coming. That kind of maybe made me prepared for it and waiting for it, and I didn't have that emotional response. My biggest issue with the movie is I thought the tone was all over the place and like the style of the movie, and I didn't understand what it was trying to be. But we'll get into that after when we do the actual review.
Well, I thought this was a classic start with the ending movie, you know? Kind of doing that jumping back and forth.
Flashback as you come to present day.
And I loved it. Like, it was, the reason it was such a tearjerker for me, it was like, as soon as it got sentimental with every bit of the past, it flashes back to the current situation.
Pulling you back into the death.
And holy cow, did I sob quite a bit. Like, multiple times, and I did not like it. God damn.
So it starts off with a tombstone getting delivered, and you meet the staff at this morgue or whatever, whoever does the tombstone stuff. I don't think it's morgue, cemetery staff.
The cemetery does it, where you're doing your funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they approach a guy. It's his brother. He's also in Yellowstone. And is he in your show?
He was in Justified.
Justified. Yeah, that's the one. I think he's
Neil
in both those. McDonough.
Yeah, that could be it.
He's also in Arrow. If anyone watched Arrow?
If you saw his face, you'd know who he is. He's the classic bad guy, the asshole,
All of it.
the jerk. Yeah, the guy, the villain. He's the villain in almost every film he's in. Except for this one, he plays like... it's a faith-driven movie, so he plays his older brother who is...
17 years older.
Yeah, pessimistic, struggling with his faith, doesn't believe the same way his mom and his brother does, and looking more at the negatives, right?
Yeah. But extremely supportive, nonetheless.
Yeah.
He's
Very.
not the nicest. He calls him cheesecake, little fat kid. he's not super nice to him, but very supportive when it comes to football and shows up at his practices and all his games and talk to the coaches about it. And
the insults over the movie became less and less hurtful and more like
friendly.
Yes, yeah, you could tell by the end when his teammates were calling him that stuff. He wasn't hurt or looking down at himself. Hardened. Yeah, he wore it like a badge of honor.
So the story takes place. His name is Brandon Burlsworth.
Burlsworth. Yeah.
Burlsworth. He was born in like Harrison, Arkansas, something like that.
Arkansas.
Arkansas. That's correct.
Yeah, it was Arkansas.
Correct pronunciation at the butthole. We're all about it.
It's either Arkansas or it's Arkansas. I don't know which one's wrong, but
kind of a classic story where he's got the piece of shit alcoholic dad, overprotective much older brother, single mom, struggling
How many
to get
classic
by.
movies have you seen like that?
There's a lot of films. So.
I mean, we just watched Warrior. That's kind of like that.
Yeah, kind of. The mom was dead that movie.
It's a theme in
was
a
dead,
lot
yeah.
of movies.
Warrior was a good movie though. It was a good flick.
Maybe classic broken home movie.
There we go.
Not those specific.
Alcoholic
roles,
father
per se.
does play a major role, and when typically
lot
when
of
there's an
families.
alcoholic father, not in this movie, but I'd say it's common theme in movies, and when that happens, you do get the overprotective brother.
And you have a broken family, single
Typically.
mother. There's a lot of. Fine, I'll take the word classic out of that, Scott. You didn't even
Classic broken home. That's fair enough to leave it at that.
So he was,
Name another movie that fits the exact stereotype that you just laid out there.
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Single
man.
mom.
Let me think of it.
Alcoholic father and overprotective brother. Name another movie. Just one. 'Cause
Warrior.
Step Brothers.
Apparently there's a bunch of them.
Step Brothers is a good one.
We don't really know what happened
Which
to
father's an alcoholic?
Brendan.
He's dead. Yeah.
We
The
never
dad.
really met him, but
No.
Dale.
Yeah, when he
No,
when they
Dale's
wreck
dad.
his boat, he turns into an alcoholic.
Mr.
For sure.
Gorbachev.
You would drink too? That's not being an alcoholic. That's coping.
What are you guys doing on my boat?
That's coping. Everybody's got to cope.
What about the show Shameless?
Kind of.
That entire 10 seasons of it is based on that premise.
That's fair.
Come on, Scott.
But overprotective?
Hey, Arnold?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. It wasn't in Mortal Kombat or fucking Kong. I get it. It's a classic
How the
movie.
fuck would you know?
among
You don't have HBO
films.
Max to watch them.
I'm guessing.
You didn't even watch those movies, dude. How dare you talk about them like that?
I'm guessing Kong's dad is an alcoholic.
Oh,
Kong's
definitely.
dad is dead.
Oh,
You dick.
Have some,
Okay,
He's
okay.
the last of his kind.
A moment of silence for Kong's dad.
that's enough. So back to Greater. Brandon Burlsworth was unathletic. He wanted to play football. The scene showed all the little kids, just like every little kid who plays a sport wants to play professional sports. And he wasn't even the starter on his.
He was a bench
He didn't even
warmer.
really
He was
play on the
the
Pee Wee
only
team.
bench player on his Pee Wee team. And then he got his chance, went in as a D tackle, fucking
Dominated
blew
the
up.
line.
Oh, he
blew up
was
his people.
shredding those bitches.
He just couldn't make a tackle. He was hugging an ankle and didn't.
correct. Still
threw a
swings the ball.
touchdown.
Pee Wee coach gives him a really good one. But and another thing that I wasn't super keen on in the movie is I'd never seen any real life footage of this guy, but it made him seem very bland as a person. Like even getting motherfucked at, he kind of just sat there and seemed almost stupid. Like he was playing stupid. And also in The Blind Side, which this kind of reminded me of, they made Big Mike seem stupid as well. And then, is there a stereotype that big
I
offensive
wouldn't know if it
linemen are
was
stupid?
Stupid for Burlsworth, but more like
Quiet.
yeah,
shy.
and he's just intimidated.
He
looking
goes
down.
to his mom at one point and says, "You said I wasn't fat. People called me fat. You don't know you're fat. You're weighing 320 pounds."
Let's not forget the Jameis Winston effect. The dude was blind and couldn't really see anything. Maybe he couldn't read, so he was a little dumb.
I thought
Shallow
that
Hal
came on later. I thought the vision thing.
Like it
he
did.
developed horrible vision.
That happens.
Because one game, it was just
Tell me
terrible.
the
They
last
said
time
he's never missed a block like that. He's never done that before.
Tell me the last time you were able to see your deck.
Well, okay, my eye's been hurt for a few days, so sue me.
See, comes on late.
And I've been gaining weight. Okay, this is just a horrible podcast.
I 100% think that the vision thing was just late developing because
I do too.
of the way they reacted in that
In
game.
a
That
week?
he's
This is Disneyfied 101. What the fuck are you talking about,
I
Stark?
thought that it was going to lead to something with his
Right,
death.
the
I was trying
story
to
about
predict his
Disney.
death.
No, he
based
just
on-
got glasses.
Yeah, but why did that game he play so bad? But all the games before he was fine.
You were pulling in the express. You're like, oh,
All
man.
right.
I
Ernie
thought he had
Davis.
some sickness that was coming on, but no, he's just got some goggles.
I'm going to tell Paul that we need to submit a story about Disneyfication of movies into Aaron's style file under the butthole group in the Blue Collar Media Group writers section. Cage's Rage defined Disneyfied for the first time listener, of which we know there's probably going to be many.
It is when a producer will add events into a movie that may appear like they happened in real life, but really didn't happen that way.
Disneyfied.
Just to
Disneyfied.
make it a good story.
To make it a great story, to make it fit into a movie's narrative. The
Yeah.
dude probably had some pretty fucking horseshit vision, and it didn't come on in 1 week.
It probably came on over time.
Yeah, not over the fucking 1 week. It wasn't like this week he's horrible and now he's getting goggles as an
But do
effect
you
of that.
understand
Like,
what this argument started as? He didn't know he was fat.
The guys were blitzing and fucking crossing all over. He was blocking the wrong guy. If you just block the guy in front of him,
What does that have to do with him being fat and not knowing it?
he
Everything.
was just not confident in himself.
So,
And by
Mom,
the
you
end of
lied
the
to me.
movie,
I am fat.
He was confident in himself.
Mom, you're wrong. I'm big boned and fat, not just big boned.
So after he got motherfucked by this coach, the coach of the varsity team comes up to him and tells him, if you want to make it, you got to be the first one in, the last one out.
Took it literally.
You got to work hard. Yeah, took everything literally. Another thing that made him play off stupid, like borderline on the spectrum. It's Forrest Gumpish, but without the likability.
And this dude was, he was part rooster.
Okay, without the
That quote got
likability,
me. I wrote that one down.
he was a very likable person.
He was likable, but as a character, he didn't pop for me.
No, he as a watcher probably not.
And that
but the
also could
coaches
be
loved him.
because he,
No, dude, there's no.
If you're in
There's one.
2015,
There's literally 1 meter of likeness that you judge a character on, and it's as a viewer, how much do you like them? So who gives a shit about the coaches and stuff? If he's not likable to Star Lamar, that's a factor.
in real life, if I met a person like that, I'd think they're a very nice person and probably likable. As a
and then you
lead
go tell your
character,
buddies,
Yes.
it's
as a
little
lead
weird.
character
yes.
of a movie, I thought he was bland.
Yeah, because they didn't do a good job of fucking painting the picture of this character
It
or
wasn't
showing
the
them.
story about his characters, the story about his belief in faith and his
Hard
ability
work
to play
and-
But you
football.
still need
work
to
and
have a
dedication.
character that
Yes.
grabs the audience.
So it's not a great movie. Reflect it in your
Yeah.
fucking score.
It's gonna be.
Oh, he goes through high
well,
school.
you didn't watch it. How would you know what his character is?
All right,
He
fair
actually
point.
does pretty damn well in high school. He becomes a starter, kind of a stud. His dream is to go to Arkansas. He was watching a game as a child. And he says,
Arkansas.
Pig,
he says,
suey.
I
And
am
you're a
going
Razorback.
to play for the University of Arkansas. He makes it.
Arkansas.
But they don't take part roosters there. That high school coach said that. He said, I didn't know you were a part rooster, otherwise I'd never have said that.
Gage comes loaded
Oh.
with his movie notes. I love it.
Waking up early.
Yeah.
He also had the line of like, "You need to get some new content, son." You've used that one.
How'd you sleep, coach?
That's one bit that I didn't really like because he said, "How'd you sleep, coach?" Man, you need to get some new lines,
content.
new content or whatever. You say that one a lot, and then he's like, "You really took this literally, didn't you?" It's like, well, he's been here every day. If he's been saying this to you all the time, you knew he took it literally already. Disneyfication.
He gets
Because they can't show the full training camp, the whole high school season.
Yeah,
No.
unofficially invited to go watch an Arkansas game
as a favor of the head coach
of
Yes.
the high school.
of the high school head coach. He said, "I got you an
Unofficial
unofficial visit."
And he was not an assertive person, like in the sense of, like if
This is what I want,
there's 5 or
get it
6
done.
other guys who were or maybe officially, but they were invited to watch the game and kind of shake hands with the coach, and he was the one who was always like last. Coach blew right past him, shook hands with the other guy, told him he was too small. You're 6'2", 245. You got to be at least 300 pounds. That's what I didn't like. Told me he's 6'2", 245. He shows up, gets the official invite to be a walk-on.
Well, yeah, that's what he said. He
If it makes
give
you
him
feel better, I'll make you an official walk-on.
Yep.
an
But you have-
invited player to make it easier. But he did have a full ride to Arkansas State.
Arkansas.
Tech.
Arkansas Tech,
Arkansas.
in which he ripped up and let his mom take out money because, you follow your dreams, kid. And in the end, it did work out well for him. But
Fuck no, it didn't.
you think he's going to be a
His mom didn't
All-American?
get paid back for that fucking second mortgage.
Do you think he's going to be an All-American
Now,
if he
maybe
goes to
they
Arkansas Tech?
Well,
Age is on one right now.
the
I love it. I love
Stars
it.
piss me the fuck off.
But hey, we've disagreed on movies before. This just happens to be one of them.
It is possible that the Colts, spoiler, the NFL
Yeah.
did the right thing and gave him some money.
Or maybe, spoiler, they sued the shit out of that 18-wheeler that came and wrecked his life.
I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem like the family would have done that.
Oh, yeah, you could totally
and
do
how
that.
do you sue the 18-wheeler? The unofficial...
Dog was about to sign a fucking contract. That's a loss of income. Totally suable.
The official report says he swerved over the line into the first 18-wheeler, clipped the trailer, swerved back, and then ended up swerving back to the other side and clipped the one behind him.
Wait, so he swerved and hit him?
They said he
He
was
crossed
over.
the line.
Yeah.
Woo!
But in the last scene, we'll get to it later.
Yeah, they said that... Never mind.
We'll get to it later. So,
Spoiler.
So he rips up his thing, lets his mom take out a second mortgage that she's never going to be able to pay back.
puts
and
on weight.
She rips it officially to end it.
Yeah.
She's like, no,
He
you're
starts
going to
taping it
Arkansas.
back together.
Arkansas.
And he goes there, and he's 320, 6'3" and a half. Big old boy. And coach kind of took notice on it, but still redshirts him, which was not an uncommon thing. I don't know any player that would just assume they're not going to be redshirted their freshman year. It's kind of standard practice, but he says, no, I need to get a scholarship. How are we going to do this? How am I going to earn a scholarship if I'm not actually playing?
He's like, you can dress the last day of the season.
Yeah. So he goes. He's kind of the butt end of most of the jokes of the teammates. They only kind of really show the incoming freshman class with them that he grows with, and all of them were at the same visit and stuff like that. I'm sure that's not how it actually happened in real life either.
They make one walk-on camp with, or room with, the rest of the scholarship guys. He's with a bunch of linemen, and they're just constantly picking on him. He's very OCD.
The
Loves
roommate
an organized room.
wasn't quite as mean.
He
The
started
other
out
two-
mean.
The sweet mate, then maybe.
The sweet mate, the other one with the
It's tough to tell
handlebars,
what they're-
he was a little bit more of a dick.
33, the D lineman.
Yeah. But his roommate, like, he was the first one
He
to
was the
start.
first one to start accepting him. and
Yeah. So he,
realizing he's a good guy. And the only thing that he did that I'll give him 100% credit for, and now you got to be careful to not give him credit for stuff because he's a real person and it's very admirable. But he was the hardest worker no matter what room he was in. He was going to outwork anyone, whether he was the most talented, up for debate. But the man could work hard. If you asked him to do something, he was going to figure out a way to do it. The coach starts to see that he might have a little skill, starts teaching him steps. He says, you don't have the footwork. You don't understand this. And starts going through different steps with him on how an offensive lineman should move off the ball and do all types of different things.
yeah, he was the type of guy, if you told him to do something, he's going to do it. Doesn't matter what it takes. He was 330. They said, you need to lose some weight, which to me was like, you told him to gain weight. Now he's got to lose weight.
Gained 80 pounds in a year, though. That was insane.
85. And
Yeah.
it was mostly fat.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think in real life, he trimmed down from that weight down to 260 and then put 40 pounds of muscle on to get back up
Did
to
you read the
300.
Wikipedia page too?
I did. I
was
to.
wondering if the Wikipedia page was based off of the movie or the movie based off the Wikipedia page because it hit
Pretty
a
much the
lot
same
of
thing.
plot points that were in the movie.
One thing I did, I spoiled something for myself.
Oh,
Later-
you read it first.
No, there was a game that they played, and I wanted to. They played the Volunteers.
Oh, the one that it kind of the actual opening of the movie
No,
with him trying to help the guy up.
no, it was the end. So I was watching at the end. So
Tennessee was number 1 ranked.
we'll kind of rip through it. He's a hard worker, always trying to bust ass to get there. He kind of realizes that he's got to work harder than other guys. He doesn't have the God-gifted talent that some of these other players do, and he gets the motivational. One guy's given $10,000. One guy has to earn, and work for $10,000. At the end of the day, they both have $10,000, but person 2 learned a lot more along the way. So they got kind of these caveats about hard work and what it means for him to get there. And they were bad. They were a bad football team for 2 of the 3 years he started.
Yes.
I think is what it was. The first 2.
Head coach got fired.
Yep. And then he went to the new head coach. He's like, hey, I know what happens when a new coach comes in. You pretty much sit the seniors, you start the freshmen, you take credit for the rebuild for the guys that you have bringing on and moving
3 to
forward,
4 years.
and you ruin our careers. Like, give us a chance.
We can win.
He's like, you think you can? He said, I think we can win. So he got his freshman group and some of the other guys to come together, and
They got a town home
and
for
worked
the
all
summer. Yeah, they said we're not going home. We're working.
He packed their bags for them. They had no choice.
And he would wake up at 3 a.m. and wake them up to run over footwork drills and all this type of shit. Like, he was the hardest worker out there.
And by this time, they had become more friendly with each other.
They have.
He
yes.
got a scholarship. We skipped over that.
Yep,
He beat their best D lineman a couple times in a drill. Got the scholarship. Became a starter. They snuck him out on a date and made him drink alcohol, which he kind of freaked out about.
He didn't drink.
Yeah, he was not a drinker. He had, another thing, he's trying to lose weight, but he's had like 3 strawberry milkshakes. That's how you're going to lose weight?
They're strawberry
Brandon.
Daiquiris.
They
Come on,
were.
Star.
They were daiquiris, but they told him, you got to try the strawberry milkshakes here. They're amazing. That's how they got him to drink it.
Have you ever started getting drunk and had a few too many?
He may have been a little.
I've never sat down and had 3 milkshakes.
If you think
Have you
a
had the
daiquiri,
opportunity?
if you think a frozen
Yeah, I'm
slushie
an adult. I can do
is
whatever
the
the
same
fuck
as
I
a
want.
milkshake, you're
Yeah.
Daiquiris and milkshakes, night and day. There's no dairy in a daiquiri.
not
Yeah.
one bit.
There's a lot of ice.
Yes, yeah. So that was.
But it was kind of
I
showed that
ain't falling for
they're
that.
now friends. They're razzing him
After-
instead of being mean, but as a friend now.
After they got him drunk without him knowing, and he freaked out, that's when they all came together.
And that was still red shirt season. He was telling them that night that he was not going to be in Arkansas anymore, that he didn't have a scholarship, and he was not going
He wasn't
to
coming
follow
back.
through with them.
So he went out, and it was in the pouring rain, and just ran laps around the field. And
Running
then the
the booze
roommate
off.
would run laps around the field. And then
And
the
made
wide
all these
receiver
guys
came.
feel bad about what they had did and the prank they played on him, and
They all
joined
ran
him.
with him until he got tired.
And you
then
kind of see the end.
they're all like shaking hands and like, all right, let's go. So then senior season, they all get that house together. And one thing we'll just hit on, I think the second to last year he played, so second year, junior season, or
Second year starting.
Yeah, second year starting. There was a play where I think that's where his eyes came into play.
Yeah,
He couldn't
the
see.
one exact moment where his eyes went bad.
Yeah, that specific moment when his eyes just totally went back.
Yeah, he was
They were
playing the
fine before
Gators.
that. And he missed that tackle. At the end of the game, the quarterback was blaming, kind of directed towards him, but the offensive line in general. And he went up and took the blame on the interview after the game. So he had that in him, like the I'll take credit, I'll take the blame type stuff. Senior year, they start out 8-0.
Yeah, they're crushing teams.
Everybody. And he's starting to make like national, the team is starting to make national.
And him and his buddies are taking a picture after every game in front of the scoreboard. Win or lose, they said, this will be for our memories. We'll take these pictures. They did have one big win that he got interviewed for like a half hour, and everyone was showered and ready to go, and he threw the dirty-ass pads at him and said, put them back on. We need to take our picture.
They didn't want to,
They're
they
all
all
bummed.
went out there and did it. And then they come to the big game against Tennessee.
Yeah,
Tennessee
which
was
is
number 1, I think.
potentially for
Arkansas.
a chance at a national championship.
They were number 4.
To show the hype that
Yeah.
he had gotten, there was a quick cutscene of like Halloween in town, and there's Burlsworth jerseys, the goggles. He was
They
a
loved
superstar.
him. They loved him.
Yeah.
And they had that game. Comes down to the end of the game. There's like a minute 19 left.
Up by 2 points.
Yeah, the Tennessee fails their 4th down. All they have to do is run the clock out, and Burlsworth gets pushed off the ball. Trace McSorley trips over him. I think there's something along those lines. I don't know.
Start with a T, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, trips, puts the ball to like help solidify
College, even
himself.
if just your knee goes down, you're down.
Yeah, but he put the ball on the ground.
Yeah, to stay
fumbled
up.
it. Tennessee went down, scored, and the quarterback pretty much said like, "Hey, I know that it was your fault." Burlsworth like acknowledged it, but he said, I know that, but at the end of the day, they're gonna have to look up in the history books who won this game. And that's not gonna matter. But what I say in this interview is what people are gonna remember forever. And so he had his back, even though he knows it was Burlsworth's fault that he tripped.
At the same time, though, it was a football play.
Yeah.
He shouldn't
It
have
was.
fumbled.
It was.
Like
He should have just gone down.
he got beat off the line, and you tripped over him,
At the end
and
of
then
the day,
you fumbled the ball.
losing
That's
3 yards and
that's
running
not
40 seconds off the clock is way better than
McSorley
the fumble.
did say that
Burlsworth's fault.
I didn't have a license to fumble the ball. Like, I tripped over you, but it was my fault I lost it.
Yeah. Which it was good that he said that. And I was hoping he wasn't going to dog him for it because he's too hard on himself.
The way
he was
it is.
hard on himself all the time. So if he kind of took that as the loss, and then they ended up losing the next game.
Yep.
Their season kind of went down the drain a little bit.
It was over for him. Pan forward. And obviously cutscenes back and forth to the funeral.
Yeah.
The
Brothers having a really hard time.
He's got this character as a farmer, just an old guy with a cane.
Nick's-
and
Was
his
he
hat.
was
He's
he
also-
real?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
When I was watching it, I thought that was kind of like the devil on his shoulder. Like,
Good and evil. And then there's
Yeah.
the football team who's doing this good stuff with the flowers. And
yeah.
Because the way they talk to him, like, you come in, but they never really acknowledge the farmer.
But they would like stare at him when he would be arguing with the farmer.
Yeah.
And the whole time, the farmer is whittling away this piece. And then
He's a whittler.
halfway through the show, he says, "It's you." And you'll see by the end, it's going to be a good one. And this is actually towards the end there. It's really getting heated with him in the current moment at the funeral. He's kind of away on the football field. He's not in the gymnasium where they're doing the service. And it's kind of like this pessimistic farmer is like, yeah, you can never... It is a really faith-driven movie
It is.
Yeah.
where he's saying, you can do all the right things, but even the people who do the most right still don't get what's deserved. And
Essentially, like, why would
what's the point?
why would
What's
God
the
do
point
this
of
to
being
him?
good? Yeah.
Yeah. If you can still just die just like anybody else.
So really, like you're saying, there's the left and right shoulder, the farmer's over one side, the football player who's
Yeah, it was
doing
like
all this
testing
good
his
things.
faith.
What you'll notice, and I don't know if you saw it, but when he finally decided to go inside or go up, he yelled at the farmer, like, "Leave me alone, that's enough."
Grabbed that whittle and threw it.
Threw it.
When
When
he
he-
picked it up, it was another blank face.
Yep.
I did.
Which
notice
makes
that.
me realize that
He's
the
the
farmer
devil.
was, or
Evil,
dark angel.
bad.
Imaginary. That's how I took it.
Okay.
It was like an inner battle that he was having.
Inner demons. Okay. Whatever you want to call it. What I spoiled for myself is I thought possibly Peyton Manning was playing for that team. Because it was in 98 that the game happened, but he was drafted
the
in
year
98.
before, yeah.
So it was actually T. Martin. I don't know if that means anything to you.
And when the movie showed old footage of him,
They cut to real footage.
they cut to real footage, and he was a beast.
He was.
He's a baller.
Like, real him was a big motherfucker. Like, he looked undersized. He was, like, shorter than all the players. He was the biggest person on that
Could you
offensive
imagine?
line in real
You
football.
want to do a what if? What if he had actually lived and played with that Colts team? How many Super
With
Bowls did they
Peyton?
win with Peyton? Reggie
I don't know.
Wayne,
He was a third-round pick.
Marvin
Yeah.
Harrison.
It
He
wasn't
was a
like
baller.
I
though.
know, but you'd have no idea. He went in the third round and never got to play it down. Who knows if
He was gonna start.
Quentin Nelson.
He was gonna start.
Quentin Nelson was a top 5 pick?
Yeah, but he would have been Quentin Nelson's, like, idol.
Maybe.
So
And they did. The coach said, "We're going to start you," and that was a little tidbit on the Wikipedia. But I'm wondering if that was just hearsay, or if the coach came out and said,
After
"No,
the
we
fact.
had a plan to start him," because that doesn't seem like a conversation that happens at rookie minicamp. Like, you're good. We're going to start you right away.
that
But
pulls,
it was his whole effort, his whole motto of drive until the whistle. That's what a football coach would love.
Yep.
and it pulls right to the fact that he had to bust his ass and nothing ever came easy. And then the first time something not came easy, but it like worked out right away for
He
him.
laughed in the face of that
It-
coach.
That's when he died like the next 2 days
The
later.
next
Yeah.
clip, yeah.
He gets listening to the radio. He's voted first team All-American, which was a thing that his old coach joked about with him and said, "What do I have to do to make the NFL?" He goes, "You got to be first team All-American." So what do I have to do to be first team All-American? And the coach's kid is like, "He's joking, you dummy. Like, you're not going to be first team All-American."
And he was.
And then, yeah, the next season they go on that roll. He's playing awesome.
National superstar.
Yeah.
Went 63 overall to the Colts. And then he decided between going to, was it the ring ceremony or the Ring of Honor or something with ArKansas, sorry.
Yeah. And he left to go to practice.
No, to
No,
bring his
go
mom
pray
to
with his
church.
mom.
church.
He was
yeah.
going back to Indianapolis the next day, so he wanted to bring his mom to church, and that's where They
have the
showed the
meeting.
scene of him looking at the book because his dad had died, and the song came on that his dad used to sing with him when he was a kid. So he looked at the book, and then it panned like right at the radio. So you wonder if he was like fidgeting with the radio because there was signs that it was staticky and the station wasn't coming through. And then I looked it up. It said that he hit one trailer and swerved back and then hit another.
You said 18-wheelers or trailers?
Well, trailer on an 18-wheeler.
Tractor trailer.
Because those trucks that drove by in the movie were not tractor trailers. They were dump trucks, not 18-wheelers.
You sure?
Yep,
They didn't
I know
show
what the-
anything in the movie, though.
Oh, they showed the 2 trucks.
No, they showed him passing one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Disneyfication or Wikipedia?
They even said 18-wheeler in the movie.
They did.
It wasn't an 18-wheeler.
So, sadly, he dies.
Maybe there was 2 trailers after the fact.
But it could have been.
And
after
he was messing
passed
with the
it.
radio again later.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They left it up
I
for
don't know.
interpretation.
It's a Disneyficated movie. He was the first number, I think, in 124 years to get retired at ArKansas. I was getting there. You're still here.
For sure, I'm still here, man.
And then
Can't tell if he's awake with those shades on.
they
though.
actually
Just how I
named
like it.
the Burlsworth Trophy after him.
Which goes to the most outstanding walk-on.
And you know who's won that, huh?
To Baker.
Baker won it twice.
Baker won it twice.
15 and 16.
They say the career of a walk-on. So
And then I think that's what it was. Or that year from a walk-on player.
nope, it's a career of the walk-on.
Then how did Baker win it twice?
Because he was a walk-on still, so he was great 2 years in a row.
Oh, but I figured if it was career, they'd wait till the end.
Well, they
Season?
just take it into account. So like if you're a walk-on as a rookie, but then you have a great senior year, they could still award it to you. Where Baker got it twice because he had the greatest season of a walk-on that year, and then the next year,
Your boy, greatest wide receiver to ever play the game.
Randy Moss.
Laquan Treadwell,
Nope, keep going.
Oh,
Favorite
fuck.
Madden player of all time.
Percy Harvin.
Keep going. You're almost there. You had him on your Madden franchise.
Oh, Clemson. Fuck's his name? White boy.
Hunter Renfro.
Hunter Renfro. God, why is that?
He won it in like
blanking.
2018, I think. So, pretty prestigious award to win. Sad movie overall. I mean,
Yes.
it was a good movie. The football montage was a lot of fun to watch. It's always a banger.
And Arkansas now
Kansas.
Arkansas.
gives a scholarship to a walk-on every year. They started something where they hold one scholarship to give to a walk-on player. And it looked like it started a walk-on craze at Arkansas because
Yeah, the next year there's
Apparently
57 walk-ons.
The Burlsworth
it
effect.
hadn't happened before that where this walk-on becomes a mainstay in the offense. So people are like, well, they do it there. We're not getting scholarships, so at least go try there.
Kind of turned into Vince Papali.
Pretty neat story. Around the same time, 94, my uncle walked on at the U of M for long snapping, and then he got a scholarship out of the deal. So
Nice.
Did he
maybe he set the groundwork for Burlsworth.
mighty optimistic? Mighty
Sorry,
optimistic.
no,
Yeah, no.
I apologize for that.
End of the movie.
Burlsworth family, if you hear this.
McDonut, he ends up kind of finding his way, goes in, celebrates, movie ends.
Well, he was sitting at the field, and they were bringing all these flowers out, and it looked like they were just kind of sporadically putting these flowers on the field. But
And
when
the,
he got to the top,
The press box where they can see the whole field and the whole game plan.
and looked down, what it said, "We remember,
We trust.
We
we trust." Yeah, so that's very faith based too. And then the movie ended.
I guess in the description it said faith and determination. Probably could have guessed it was a faith-based movie.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be more Hallmarky than it was, or maybe I just don't watch enough Hallmark
or maybe
movies.
you don't have a soul. It was very hallmarky.
Well,
the
when
cutscene-
when
Are
I
you
say
kidding me?
Hallmarky,
Listen.
I mean like bad.
Oh,
Like cheesy as fuck.
Yeah.
And like, yeah.
what's your rating on the movie?
I didn't think it was great.
It was
Same.
greater.
I watched it over 3 different times,
Oh,
so I couldn't
That'll
even
do it.
finish it.
That does
I
it.
broke it down into 3 things. I felt like the tone was off. The football scenes I was very into. The whole scene with the farmer, I was like, "What? Why is this happening now? Like, this doesn't seem like it fits in."
now that we talk through it, you get it.
But I just didn't think it fit in with what was happening. It almost took away from the emotion of the movie seeing that, because it felt like it wanted to be like an indie movie with all this stuff going on, and the weird sounds would come in and the music would change. It's like, that's not the same movie I just watched for an hour and a half of him going through his college career.
It's not a football movie.
It definitely was a football movie.
It was
It was a
It had
faith
a lot to do
movie
about
that
faith.
used football to show it.
It doesn't make my top 10 football movie list.
I would
I agree
say
with that.
I think the reason they brought the brother in was to draw more towards his face side, like Brandon's face side, not Marty's. Marty
Yes.
was the brother. But it did feel a little out of place. It almost
And you could
sometimes
see that
drew
when
more
the dad
towards
was on his deathbed.
Felt forced.
yeah,
And he's
that felt more
telling him to pray. And
Marty was forcing
Brandon.
Brandon to pray,
And-
and he's like, he didn't want to.
Yeah.
It was lost faith, and he was kind of saying it like, "You're the best guy I ever known. You're the greatest person. You do everything great. If you want this by God's will, it will happen, because you are great. You deserve everything you ask for." And then that kind of lost after his father still passed away from lung cancer. He was even more pessimistic about faith, and when people would bow and pray at that funeral, he was the only one who was not praying.
Yeah, and they did have some little like caveats of his faith maybe rubbing off on some of the other players. There's a guy who would go
Number
up to
33.
to the field goal post and do a little prayer after every game.
And then the game they lose, he just goes up like he's about to pray again, and then he slams his helmet and walks away. Doesn't pray. So it was
there was a lot of
extremely
it.
faith based.
Yeah, absolutely.
I give it a 6.4.
I'm not the biggest fan of those types of movies. I'm gonna go 6.2. I sobbed like a baby, so it added a point because it was very sad.
I went above you. I didn't think after having this argument that I was going to have a higher score than
No,
you.
but I could still see the theme and what the director was trying, the movie was trying to get by. You know,
I thought the football scenes were cool. Maybe a little unbelievable. I'd like to know the actual story of, like, was he actually as big of an underdog as they made him out to be? You see, like, everyone who dies, it's, oh, they were the greatest person. They had an infectious smile. They did this and that. I saw some meme that was like, just be honest with me. I'm an asshole. Probably don't even want any of you guys here at my funeral. Don't make up lies about me and make me seem like a great person. But you see this movie and you just wonder how much of it is maybe an illusion of the family that just wants to have all the
told
good.
story after the fact.
And did you guys notice Big Mike was actually in the movie for about 2 seconds?
He's
Really?
an assistant coach.
Yeah, he was in like the press
The
box.
actor who played
He
Big
was
Mike.
with the Colts.
I think it was during the Tennessee-Arkansas game.
ArKansas.
I thought it was in high school with the film.
I don't know. He was in like a press box talking for like 2 seconds. He said something stupid, and the other guy told him it was stupid, and that was
He was like an
quick as it
assistant
was.
coach.
Okay.
There you go. One line I really liked was the pessimistic brother when he's like telling him that he's gonna go to ArKansas and walk on, and then he tries to start his car when he's leaving and it doesn't start. He goes, "Well, looks like you're not going anywhere there, Cheesecake." The nicknames were awesome. Cheesecake. You got-
I give it a 6.2. I didn't really care that much for it, but it wasn't a horrible movie.
I don't regret watching it. Just not my cup of tea.
Wouldn't watch.
I would
it
never
again.
pick it on my own.
Yep.
I gave it a 7.5. I'm up there. I liked it.
What's the level of concern we gotta have for people boosting their own movies?
Ooh.
I didn't boost the movie.
If you liked the movie,
What's
a
it average
7.5
out
is
to?
fair.
6.58.
658, 66.
Yeah.
Six-
IMDb gave it a 7.3.
I'm just playing, bro. I'm just playing. You good? You Gucci?
Yeah.
You better watch yourself, boy.
So that means Scott's on the docket for the next.
Yeah,
movie
and it's going to be
review,
an
right?
absolute fucking shredder of a movie. It comes out to Netflix this Friday. It's been showing in theaters already.
A premiere.
It's got solid reviews too.
Kill
And
Bill is
it's
coming
by
out.
the man, Dan. It's Snyder, right?
Yeah, Zack
Snyder, yeah, sorry.
Dan Schneider's the coach of the Lions.
Yeah, I know. Zack
No,
Mike
Snyder.
and
Campbell.
kneecaps.
That's Dan Campbell.
Who's Dan Schneider? Is he
No,
a front
Dan
office
Snyder was
guy?
the owner
No,
of the
they
Washington
make
football
tomato
team.
soup.
That's Dan Schneider.
What?
Campbell soup.
Yeah, Zack Snyder's
Boom, roasted.
Army of the Dead
Boom.
with Batista,
When does it come out?
with John Cena. Comes out Friday.
Tig
So
Notaro.
I can't watch this movie till Saturday, Sunday like I normally would, but now I don't have the option of watching it any sooner.
Yeah, get offended.
I am offended. Now
Now you have an excuse not to watch it till Saturday. Sunday. It's perfect for you.
I missed the title. What's it called?
Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead.
Yep.
It's
All right.
about an army of the Dead.
No, it's a heist mission where they're supposed to go to Vegas to rob a bank, I believe it is. That's why I think you'd call it a heist mission. Here, I'll just read you the
No,
synopsis.
let's just do it next week.
Following a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, a group of mercenaries take the ultimate gamble, venturing into the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted.
The quarantine zone.
Wow.
But they don't know what
Wow.
the fuck they're getting into. Wow.
I think it looks sweet, and I'm not
Owen
even
Wilson?
I'm not the biggest zombie fan. I'm not even a zombie fan. I've never really gotten into any of this stuff, but this looks cool to me. I guess I like the Resident Evil, the first 3 Resident Evil movies.
Shaun of the Dead.
Okay.
Zombieland?
Okay.
Zombieland's okay.
Ooh.
What about that one where that guy starts to turn back to a human when he falls in love with that one girl?
Warm Hearts.
Warmer.
Warm Bodies.
Warm Bodies.
I Am Legend.
Okay.
Really? And you're
World
a Will
War
Smith
Z?
fan.
Okay.
World War Z was just okay. I Am Legend was good.
Like all the Dawn of the Dead's okay. 28 Days Later, okay.
What about
28 weeks later.
Okay.
42 Days and Nights?
I actually saw that. I got free tickets to an early showing, which at the time was like cool.
It was
'Cause
okay.
It didn't come out. Yeah, but almost less than okay. It was too dark. But I had free tickets, and I was like, I'm going to see this 2 weeks before everyone else does.
I'm starting to judge my movies on if I'd watch them again.
Oh, that's a good way to judge them.
It is.
That's 2
literally
years in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in.
You don't
Applause
have
for
to do it
Brandon.
that way, though.
That's a good way to do
Because
it.
It is a great way to do it.
Irishman, I thought it was a good movie. Never going to watch it again.
No, but that's one way to judge them. Is this a movie that I would watch again and not be mad about it?
Yeah.
That's how I judge them.
And I turned on Tombstone yesterday when I was cleaning my garage.
Yeah, you did.
It was a good movie.
What did you rate it? Was it in the 7s
It
for
was
you?
it was a 10.
The second time?
There's 2 types of people in this world. People that dare step out of their comfort zone and turn something new on, and people that go back to old reliable. Whether it's TV shows, movies.
7,
you guys
8.
know people like that will literally rewatch the same movies and TV shows that
was
they like.
Just
right?
about to say, for me, it's like probably 2 months later, I'll forget the plot.
Okay.
Once I start rewatching, like half hour in, I'll remember it. But you watch a lot of stuff, you forget a lot of stuff too.
I'm almost always down if it's a movie that I like to watch it again. I'll always
Yes.
watch it at least the second time. And usually the only time I'll watch it more than that is if it's a comedy that I like or like a good action
Like
movie.
Uncut Gems.
Yeah, Uncut Gems, I've already watched it twice and I've confirmed I don't like it.
I've heard that there's a relation between people who like to rewatch the same stuff over and over and anxiety.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, because you know it's going to happen. You're not going to be surprised. You can't
That's actually
Or
a fair
picking
thing.
something new gives you anxiety that you don't want to deal with.
It might be more of a
I
fear
think
of
it's
letting
more of
go.
inside your comfort zone, dude. Like you know what
Yeah.
you know what it is. You know
Probably the
what's
same people
Like,
who
I've
like to
watched
listen to old music. too.
Fuller House 3 times through.
Fuller House.
The
Yeah.
new one?
Yeah,
What the fuck is wrong
maybe
with you?
4 times. It's the greatest show of all time.
Filler Couch.
Judging Star
That
Lamar.
adult film.
Star Lamar, watch Attack on Titan.
Fill
please.
her couch.
Yeah, Fill Her Couch. I've watched
I bet you've
Justified.
seen the first 3 minutes 700 times.
What's the show that you've
30
seen
seconds.
start to finish the most times?
You gotta clean up.
Justified.
Justified?
I've watched Justified twice, and I'd watch Justified again.
Game of Thrones I've seen twice, and I'd watch a third time without even batting an eye.
You've seen all seasons twice?
every single episode twice.
I've seen
Sheesh.
like the first 5 twice, and then I caught up with the person who I was rewatching with, and then I think the last 2.
I didn't watch them twice back to back. So what I did is I watched seasons 1 through 5 originally, and then when I think it was season 6 because there's 7 seasons, right? Yeah. So season 6 I was caught up and I knew it was coming out, so I watched 1 through 5 to catch up to 6. But then season 6 and 7 I would watch the episodes the night that they came out Sunday night, and then I would watch it the night before the next one came out, or like that night.
Yeah.
So I watched 6 and 7. Not consecutively, right? But like I've watched them all twice, all
First
episodes
world
twice.
problems.
Yeah,
What about
no
you,
kidding.
Gage?
I saw season 1.
No, it's what's a TV show that
Lost
you've
inter-
seen the
lost
entirety
interest.
of it the most?
Didn't finish
The
it.
most?
Yeah, that you've maybe watched through it 3 or 4 or 5 times.
Burn
Dragon
Notice.
Ball Z, dude.
Dragon Ball Z, honestly, I've
That's
seen it probably 6 or 7
Don't leave
times.
them hanging.
Oh,
what
sorry,
are you
dude.
doing?
Start to finish.
Yeah, that's 10 seasons. That's a long fucking show, too.
That's a commitment.
I've seen it a lot.
That sounds
But
not
I've
worth
watched it since I was like 9, 10, so
Yeah.
Hey, you know what we should do? We
I
should
own them.
Scott had that idea of watching a show and then like commentating
Live,
on it.
yeah.
We should watch MXC
Oh,
and do
fuck
American
yeah.
voiceovers of
super
the American
meta.
voiceover.
No, we should watch MXC.
It's super meta.
Amazon
and cool.
Prime too.
Worth it.
Doesn't sound
You
intriguing.
could buy them
Dude,
like
most
on
extreme
eBay for
challenge?
fucking $300. Amazon Prime for free.
For free.
For what?
MXC.
It's very expensive to buy them.
MXC, stick my dick in a blender. MXC, stick my dick in a blender.
Have you seen it?
No.
That might be on the show
I'm just
one
ripping
day.
on you fuckers, okay? I don't know. I'd watch it. I'll
so-
try anything
You
once.
have not seen MXC.
It's kind of
No.
like an Asian Ninja
It's like
Warrior.
an Asian game
I've seen
show.
Ninja Warrior.
It's like an Asian game show, like Asian contestants, very
Whiplash.
extreme video games or games.
No, like Wipeout more
but
so.
then they
Wipeout,
take
yeah.
American voiceovers of it.
Dude,
Sure,
the
I'll do it.
voiceovers are terrible.
No, it's
They're
amazing.
hilarious,
They're
but they're
hilarious.
terrible.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the point. It's supposed to be extreme.
I would do it.
Most extreme elimination show.
Yeah, dude, the Wipeouts are gnarly.
Oh man, there's a game where you have to swing off a rope with a Velcro suit and stick on a wall. There's a game where you have to run across a river where there's like 3 rocks kind of sporadically spread apart.
No, there's more than 3. There's like 7,
No,
but
like
only
3
3
rows
or
of
4
rocks.
are
3
actually rocks. The other ones are just floaters.
They're floaters. So as soon as you hit them, they start to sink.
And then
but you can still jump off it. So it's just supposed to be like Wipeout.
Dude, it's hilarious.
meant to be.
Sounds
Gage and
like
I-
some shit that if the butthole had the funds, we would make a game show. This would be it.
Yes.
Do you know the Wipeout one where there's like a giant dodgeball? You have to jump across like 5 of them.
Yeah.
They have a way better version of that
They
where
do.
it's like roller logs. They're way closer, so like you can legit Scorpion heels touch your fucking back of your head.
The big boulders, you have to
And the
run up
best
the
part
ramp.
is the last fucking 30 seconds they show the most extreme eliminations of the whole show.
It's great.
So the ones you laughed at the most come back on at the end.
Dude, that
all those
sounds
people died.
horrible.
It's so good.
All those people died.
They probably got paid $5 to sign away the rights for that show.
They probably paid $5 to sign away the rights to that show. There's one where the
Spike
boulders
TV
coming down the hill
late at night.
and they have to run up the hill.
Then
Spike
sometimes
TV
there's
had the
some
greatest
fucking
shit.
goofy bastards in the hole that like push them out, so they have to get rolled over by that rock.
Dude, and that rock is not light. Like, it's a big rock.
What the fuck?
This
Yeah.
show is great,
How
man.
have I never heard of this show before?
You didn't watch Spike TV after 11.
Yeah.
It was
That-
after BMS, after 1,000 Ways to Die.
1,000 Ways to Die. Don't even bring me down that nostalgia
Tell
train.
me you
One
had
of
a
the
TV
best
in your-
1,000 Ways
in your
to Die
bedroom.
that I've ever fucking seen was the dude that tied a fucking hot dog to his leg with a rubber band, and he went to the club trying to show off his fucking big dong,
package?
and the fucking rubber band clinched off the blood.
artery.
Yes, and he went in the bathroom because he wasn't feeling good, and he died in the fucking bathroom.
With a fucking hot dog strapped to his thigh.
Yes, dude. One of the best ways to die ever. And the
Worth
second
it.
best one was the guy, I don't remember the city, but he was in a high rise at the very top floor, and he would interview people for jobs. And one of the big things that he would do while he was interviewing for a shock factor was fucking run and jump into the window 10,000 fucking feet in the air or whatever he was.
And it broke.
One time he fucking ran and jumped and the window broke. He fell out the window and died.
Fucking A.
Yeah, could you
Okay.
imagine at a job interview watching your interviewer fucking go through the window and fall to the death?
You have got a long life. You're 106. You can choose how you're going to die. What's your choice? 1,000 Ways to Die.
I've never seen the show.
No,
I just
you
get
get
to
to
pick.
pick.
No, you live a long life. Now you're ready to go. You get to choose how you die.
Well, like, you want to die in dramatic fashion, or do you just want to die
your
peacefully?
choice. Your choice. Dealer's choice.
Saving the
You're
world.
gonna just get the
Iron
lethal
Man
shot?
style.
You're going to jump off a rocket ship?
I'm gonna make the snap and bring back 50% of the population.
Give me 7 packs of Oreos and just a gallon of milk. I'm fucking bursting my stomach with Oreos.
You don't have to wait till the end of your life.
I want to live a good life before I do it, Star.
thought this through. You pretend like
Oreos to death.
6 packs of Oreos?
A close
Not
second. A
enough.
close second. Go to the strip club. Line up all the biggest drugs you can find. Suffocation by boobies.
a close second, but you go to
second.
I'll take Oreos first.
Oreos
Boob
first.
second.
You guys got me
Jesus.
beat or what?
I was just
You
gonna,
No!
Silence means I win.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to beat that.
I just want to be like whatever Elon Musk's attachment in your brain is for one night.
Oh, I got stars. I got
My
stars.
Neuralink?
I got stars right
I just
here.
want to know what your brain thinks when you go to bed at night.
Star
It's a
Lamar's.
fireworks.
He wants to be 106 years old, have a picture of Zach Wilson's mom pulled up on his phone, and just be going to town on himself. And his fucking heart rate rises so much he has a heart attack and dies right there.
Well, you know I
jerking
had to
off
take
to
like
Zach
6
Wilson's
blue
mom.
pills to get it up at 106.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just was popping them like M&Ms.
Yes.
So
He's
Stars
just eating Oreos. I'm eating Viagra's.
Yes.
Stars' fantasy is to jerk one to Zach Wilson's mom, not to do it to Zach Wilson's mom.
Nope.
By
Absolutely.
that
jerk
point,
off.
she's
Should be
136.
140. Damn.
Well, it
It'll be
is
an old
But she
picture
still looks
of her
good.
where she looks good.
National or Worldwide Masturbation Month. So
That's true.
I don't know if it's worldwide or just in America.
I
Or
think
if
it's
just
just
Star
you.
Lamar's house.
With that said, go jerk off.
Bye.
Check out our website.
I was just kidding about the Fuller House thing.
www.officialbutthole.com. We're on
I
all
don't know if
social
you
media.
were.
at Official Butthole.
Just have to add
Please
that
leave
at the
us a
end.
rating and review on
Cut
Apple
that.
Music, and we'll see you next time.
7 packs of Oreos. Like, did you think? Do you know the quantity that's going to be too much? or-
Yeah, why do you think that equals death? I feel like I could
Gallon
do
of
it.
milk will do it, and then you just have Oreos on top. It's
If you're 106 years old drinking a gallon of milk, you're dead.
exactly.
Dude, I fucking love I want to just get in the mind of Gage's rage one time.
You see my Neuralink? It's fucking going off, man.
I love it. Like, I fucking love it.